We do have a very special relationship. In fact, I'll get that little piece of dandruff off. That little piece. We have to make him perfect. He is perfect.
Look at that.
Gosh, I can't believe you did that. Yeah, you're right. He's saying, where's the French music? Cue the French music. Sean Spicer. Yeah.
My goodness.
That's customer service.
There we go.
Can we run that again? Joining us right now, our good friend, Sean Spicer. We are good friends. You've been on the show twice.
I mean, I'm not going to get rid of the stuff on your jacket. We're not Macron-Trump close, but we're friends.
That's because he already got rid of it.
That's right. You remember him. He was the president's press secretary for a very long time, and he's the author of an upcoming book called The Briefing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere. This is the first time anybody has seen the cover art.
When does it come out?
July 24th.
Congratulations.
It's available for pre-order right now on both Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com.
What's it about?
You can actually get a signed copy right now on BarnesandNoble.com, too, as well as Amazon. So get out there, pre-order. Great. I mean, I got to keep up with you. That's the problem. You keep churning out these bestsellers. I'm going to learn from the best.
Yours will be too.
So what do you think of the state dinner and the bromance, as it's being called?
I think it's great. The idea that people, when Trump got elected, were concerned about our standing in the world, and you look at that kind of relationship, not just in France, but so many other countries where the president's developed these personal relationships that are benefiting our country and our people, is fantastic. I will say one other thing. Beyond the president, the First Lady knocked it out of the park again. What an amazing state dinner, and a tribute to what a great job our country does putting out the red carpet.
I don't think people understand how important personal relationships are for this president, too. I mean, there's not a whole lot of things they agree on policy. I mean, Macron's a globalist who is against the Iran deal, but a personal relationship...
Well, the president's against the Iran deal, too.
No, excuse me, he's for the Iran deal. No, he was...
Right.
Macron was for the Iran deal. Excuse me, you're right. So, but personal relationships gives him a chance to actually still get something done.
Absolutely. I mean, he recognizes from business that if you have a relationship with somebody, that you can cut through the clutter a lot of times, cut through the staff, the bureaucracy, and get things done. And you look, whether it's North Korea sitting down to denuclearize that peninsula, trade deals, other economic things that benefit our workers. The president's using those personal skills to really benefit the country and our people.
All right, lots of news about these text messages. Strzok and Page, those lovebirds. We've been seeing some of their text messages being released. Apparently more are going to be released
That could be its own book.
What do you think about this? What are we
like a
going to find
romance
in
novel.
this?
We're going to get the missing 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand what's going on behind the scenes. If people want to talk about a fair and objective investigation, understanding the mindset of the people who are looking into it is important. So I think it is concerning, and the extent to which will be further revealed by these text messages. But I think it's important for people to understand the context of how some of this investigation was conducted.
Also, now we're realizing that apparently the guy that James Comey gave the secret memos to leak to the New York Times, it turns out Mr. Comey apparently deputized him and made him a special government employee with special access, and so maybe he did have access to these top secrets and stuff like that. The more you peel back, the weirder it gets.
Well, the interesting thing for me as a conservative is that if any of these circumstances had been on the other foot during an Obama administration or a Clinton administration, people would be going absolutely nuts. But because people are so hell-bent on going after this president and going after conservatives, they sort of are willing to excuse all the improprieties that have existed to get us to this point.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Well, on another topic we had to get your take on, you might remember your good friend from CNN, journalist Jim Acosta.
Very close. Very close.
Very close, right?
I mean, I'm not wiping anything off his jacket, I'll tell you that.
Well, he mentioned your name yesterday.
I've heard. On Fox and Friends, I heard.
And insinuated a few other things about the rest of you. Listen to him.
The problem is that people around the country don't know it's an act. They're not in on the act, and they take what he says very seriously, and they take attacks from Sean Spicer and Sarah Sanders and what they do to us on a daily basis very seriously. They don't have all their faculties in some cases. Their elevator might not hit all floors.
Whoa, so he's saying that the president, his demeanor, that's all an act. That guy on TV and at the state dinner, that's all an act. And the people who voted for him are crazy.
Well, Act 1, get more jobs for the American people, complete. Act 2, strengthen our position in the world, complete. I mean, if this is an act, it's a pretty good play, because right now the American people are benefiting pretty well. So bad on him. Look, part of the reason I wrote this book, The Briefing, which is
Available for pre-order right now.
which is
get a signed copy right
which is because I talk about some of those interactions. But
So Jim might make the book.
I think he's in the book.
What does it say, though, seriously about the voter? Because the voters were called deplorables.
Right.
The voters that he's calling them, they don't have their faculties. That they're stupid.
I think this is, it's sad to see that. In all seriousness. Because what I think it continues to show is a lack of understanding. We saw an executive from ABC News after the election talk about we need to get a firmer grasp of what's going on in this country, which I think is a good sign. I think when folks in these big urban areas who have been sort of around an elite group of people in the media or in Wall Street finally get to understand what's going on in rural America, the troubles that they feel, the way they feel that they've been left behind, and why this president is addressing their concerns is important. So for Jim not to understand that and for him to continue to dismiss and frankly make fun of and ridicule people around this country is really sad and really shows you how little of an understanding they have of what's happening in this country.
They still think they're saving America from the president.
I know.
That's the
and that's again. I don't mind that from a liberal activist. I get it. I've been doing this a long time. But when you have a purported...
He's the White House
correspondent saying that the people don't get it, that's a problem. And when you're further insulting them, saying that they don't have their faculties, I wasn't attacking Jim. Frankly, I was attacking the premise of bad stories, bad narratives, false information. And I continue to believe that that's important because I believe in a fair and, I believe in the First Amendment. I believe in a robust press, but I don't believe that false narratives should go unanswered. And I think the lack of his understanding of what's happening in this country is still a fundamental problem with so many people in the mainstream elite media.
Tomi Lahren earlier loved it. She
was fired up.
Yeah, she said, I'm glad. This only helps Republicans down the road. Do you agree with that?
I do, because I think what happens is people who may not even agree with the president or Republicans on all issues say, you know what, at least they're willing to try and address our concerns. They're willing to listen. And what most people want more than anything else is someone to understand the plight that they're going through, to be willing to help deal with some of the problems that they're facing. And when this president has clearly given them voice. And I think that's important.
Sean, thanks for dropping
Thanks,
by
guys.
the couch. Remember, his
luck
book
with the
comes
book.
out in July the 23rd. It's called The Briefing.
Thank
You
you.
can buy it now.
Well done.
The Briefing. Thank you, Sean.
You bet.
All right, well, police on alert for terrorists using drones to attack our country. Brett Velikovich used drones to hunt these bad guys down and says the danger is very real. He joins us next.
And what happens when all the Fox and Friends moms get together? There we are.
She looks sorry. Look at us. We're a mess over here.
There is more where that came from. All of my Fox mom friends are going to join us live coming up. Anna's here for the week. She brought Brooks. And Janice is holding one of the babies. There's Jackie, and there's my little girl.